My help comes from the Lord. Psalms. I lift my eyes to the hills. From where does my help come? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. And she will not let your foot be moved. She who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, she who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade on your right hand. The sun will not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from evil. She will keep your life. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time forth. And furthermore, a low level of depression, a loss of energy, interest. What does this mean? And how do you manage it? The most exciting thing that I can say is that Michelle Obama and I have something in common. I mean, this is exciting. I mean, she has a home on Martha's Vineyard that I would love to have. I want a house on Martha's Vineyard. She has a gorgeous, fun, smart husband. I just like the husband. He doesn't need to be good looking. We share one more thing in common. We both have a daughter. She has two and I have one, who are gorgeous. Michelle named what we have been struggling not to name. She has named that the protests, the riots, the looting, the nasty exchanges on social media, it's blinded us to the fact that we're all struggling with the feelings of fear, sadness, despair, righteous anger, and thoughts of murderous intent. How do we navigate these feelings? The feelings that bring us pain, sadness, and embarrassment. I mean, to admit you have murderous intent. But mainly, how do we navigate this fear? I noticed that someone posted on Facebook that for depression, excellent advice. You know, good food, rest, exercise, and, doing things that interest you. And I am sick of cooking for myself. I have tried to sleep, but I have this friend named Insomnia that just keeps getting in the way. And exercise, well, I'm not that person who enjoys exercise. Yet I recognize the benefits of it. So in an attempt to regain my joy of life, I have committed to doing one sit-up a day. My goal is to work up to 5 of them, and I do not count sitting up in bed to start my morning as one of my 1 sit-ups. Seriously, the advice is excellent. Yet what happens when you can't gather the energy to make the plans, to follow through on the advice? The ennui is just overwhelming. I have tried different things to seek the hills. I have lifted my eyes to seek understanding. I sit in my backyard at different times of the day, seeking peace. I've counted my blessings, yet I get sidetracked by worrying about the United States Postal Service. I've listened to people speak about their despair, their loneliness, and what I'm discovering is that there are a couple of common denominators, but one of them is the loss of joy. Some people miss hugs, and some people miss in-person conversations. Some people miss just eating out at their favorite restaurant. I mean, seriously, folks, Uber Eats is expensive, and you still have to do your own cleaning up after the meal. They miss going to the movies, and although you can stream movies and stop them when you need to go relieve yourself, the ambiance of the movie theater is missing. Popping butter popcorn in my kitchen is not the same as the smell in theaters. I've tried gardening, and I have a cucumber. And some of you may have seen my okra. Check out the recipes that are online regarding that okra. I'm unable to knit, which used to be my go-to thing to relax. Yet at this stage of grayness, everything feels like a chore. A scripture came to mind during this peace meditation I've been doing. And it's from Matthew 18:3 that says, I assure you that unless you change and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. The greatest in the kingdom of heaven is the one who humbles themselves and becomes like a child. And I ask myself, where is my inner child? And now I'm not talking about childishness and exhibiting behaviors that indicate an immaturity, such as emotional escalations, blaming someone else, lying, name-calling, impulsivity of actions, needing to be the center of attention, bullying, or being unable to see beyond your own needs, immature defense, attacking anybody who disagrees with you, and the ego, no ability to see beyond your own ego. I'm talking about finding joy in playing jacks or watching cartoons or playing Candyland. I mean, I watched Mighty Mouse the other day. That may be too old for some of you, but it's like going and seeing an anime that you like. But you get my drift. Doing something that calls to the child of you to remind you of the simpler concepts of good, bad, fun. Activities like finger painting or coloring. Now I'm going to tell you, I'm still traumatized from kindergarten, still trying to learn how to color within the lines. So I won't be coloring anytime soon. Yet seriously, I may not have been able to plan nutritious meals and implement cooking them, yet I could go outside and throw a ball for mocha. I may not be able to exercise beyond my one sit-up a day, yet I can put on the Pointer Sisters and I'm so excited, I just can't hide it. Or It's Raining Men and dance and dance. And I can go to the library and look for that book I loved when I was a child, The Pokey Puppy, or Dr. Seuss, Left Foot, Right Foot. Reverend Kirk Byron Jones, in his book Holy Play, as well as Thich Nhat Hanh's parable from Buddha that tells the story of the merchant who loses his child, and poet Mary Oliver, all speak to the concept of open-mindedness, of not knowing everything, being able to accept what we do not know, what's coming next in our world, yet we embrace the unknowing and still hold on to the fun and joy our inner child, our creativity can bring. The ability to acknowledge these moments of childlike fun, creativity, or just a simplistic enjoyment, I feel a contentment of heaven-filled moment, filled with joy and fun. And this is what I offer you today. Find your child. Find the moment each day you can remember the feeling of lightness. I grew up in a physically abusive home, yet I remember moments of contentment, hiding under the covers with a flashlight, reading a book, watching Star Trek, even when my parents thought it was too weird. Yet when Martin Luther King said that Uhura was the bomb, it became a great show. I challenge you to find that favorite food that you loved as a child and couldn't wait to have, to taste it, and to shiver with just anticipation and contentment of tasting it again. I ask you to remember wiggling your toes in sand, or dirt or in the grass or water. And remember the sensual feel on your toes, your skin. We have senses that we have been given that are supposed to make our lives enjoyable, and we forget this because they're dulled by the grayness of worry, fear, sadness, and pain. Channeling the child that helps us to reclaim these basic moments of happiness will help us reclaim our joy. Allow the holy to embrace you with childlike enthusiasm you bring with your choice to seek joy. We are creatures that can create joy in many simple ways. Sometimes the joy comes through meditation, snuggling under your covers before it's time to get up. We can seek those little simple moments that help you remember the grace of joy. You can go look in your garden and peek and see what new miracles await you there, even if it's fungi. Finally, instead of the self-isolation or embracing it with our fears and our uncertainties, fear of dying, becoming ill, or any of the other fears that have arisen, we could, as Maya Angelou say, even the stars look lonesome. We need to remember and to teach our children that solitude can be a much desired condition. Not only is it acceptable to be alone, at times it's positively to be wished for. It is in the interludes between being in company that we talk to ourselves, and in silence we listen to ourselves. Then we ask questions of ourselves, and we describe ourselves to ourselves, and in the quietude we may even hear the voice of the holy. Further, in hearing the voice of our inner child, our Holy One, we seek the holy in play. We accept that even at the worst of times, we can still find in our struggles the joy of life, that life should go on. So, go play.